Today is Monday, June 4. I'm Pastor Michael. This week we welcome back Mr. Rick Verkerk to Wilderness Wanderings. Pastor Anthony is still on sabbatical and Jennifer Heidinga is away on vacation. Since Rick has offered us a 5-part series called Disruptive, we decided to give him a full week so his series wouldn't be disrupted. Here's Rick.
We have been in a period of indefinite uncertainty and disruption for some time now due to a microscopic virus. But disruption really is nothing new. It has been around since Adam, and there have been much bigger disruptions than what we are currently experiencing, including one that was, is, and can be life-changing. This series of Wilderness Wanderings will look at a number of disruptions intended to help us grow in our faith. Today we'll look at disruptive grace, and our text is from Exodus chapter 3, verse 4. When the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called to him out of the bush, "Moses, Moses," and he said, "Here I am." Most collisions in life are far from beautiful. In fact, vehicle collisions or a jarring hit in a sport can result in destruction and pain. God's grace is like a collision, except it's beautiful. God's grace is the most dangerous, expectation-wrecking, smile-creating, counterintuitive reality there is. Grace is beautiful because it both stops you and commissions you. In the Old Testament, God disrupted many people's lives with his grace and called them to do something very dangerous and risky for the kingdom of God. We saw in Exodus 3 how Moses' life was disrupted by a burning bush. But beyond that, in the Old Testament, we can see Jonah's life interrupted by a large fish and David's life challenged by a giant. The Lord intended to show these men that by his grace, much can be accomplished. Slaves could be liberated, Nineveh saved, and the Philistines defeated. God's redemptive story is marked by disruptive grace. In the New Testament, God and Saul collided, which led to his conversion and a new name, Paul, and a history-shaping commission to preach the gospel to those who were not yet God's people. God sent his Son to personally disrupt the world of that day, and that disruption keeps on going. And after many years of repressive Roman rule, the story of Israel is disrupted for the grand inbreaking of grace. Zechariah, the priest, is rendered speechless. A virgin named Mary becomes pregnant, and her fiancé, Joseph, is visited by an angel. All personal disruptions for the greater good. Jesus comes into the world, and the disruptions of grace abound. A blind man sees, people are healed, evil spirits are driven away, to name just a few. And each of these are beautiful collisions of God's disruptive grace. When we experience God's grace, it is life-changing. It should have a jarring effect, like a collision. But we also need to understand it is intended to commission us to be a light on the hill for him. Grace meets us, and grace unleashes us. Grace, the truth that we don't earn, but instead become the recipients of God's good and delivering disruption. It sets us free to follow Jesus as Lord. It forms us as vessels through whom he can work out his will in history. So what grace collisions have come your way recently? And why do you think they have come?
As you journey on, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.